class, I wanted to give you some video feedback. And as I'm giving this to you, you'll want to jot down notes because in your revision, you will probably be asked to create a list in one of your tasks of your feedback that you received, a bulleted list. All right, just going to jump right in. I have looked at these, but I'm going to address them as a first-time site visitor, checking out the usability and give you some feedback on that. I hope that this is your image, Gabe. It's a great photo. It's really important for cinematographers to use their own work, right? And I think given the quality of what I've been seeing, that's yours. Great headshot, good job. All good, linked up. And let's see. These were good. You've got your roll and everything here, which is just great. Bio and contact seems a little repetitive. Maybe here, instead of the welcome, maybe it's more of a call to action. Just, hey, contact me if you want, or contact Gabe, and then put this kind of details about you someplace else. I do love this photo because I like the rectangles and the blacks and the shapes that it's making. It is a little out of focus though. So if you can recreate it or make it a little smaller, I do like the frame of it. I like the size, but for a cinematographer, it might need to be a little sharper there. Here, let's extend that text box so this will wrap differently. But otherwise, really great. This is kind of overdone. I'm going to overlook it because your work is really supposed to speak for itself. And, I think that can be overlooked, this particular icon. But, you might want to either just put your name up here with cinematographer or come up with a very simple logo. But for now, that will be okay. Okay, let's take a look at the mobile. Okay, so this is going to be on every page. Good. That may be loading slowly. Check the file size. Close that space up a little bit. Easy to read. Okay, we looked at that. Now, we do want these to be the same. Okay, letter casing. So it's sharp here, looks good here. We talked about that. Okay, and you don't have to have a front page. You can just go into your about. In this case, yeah, close it up a little bit. And this would need a header. I'm sorry, a heading like this has a heading on this page. I think it's, to the right on the desktop, but it does need a heading, and SEO does look for headings, like a heading 1. It will look for that to help it scan and read the main content. All right. Great job. Great job. Just a few details. Now keep in mind, anybody who makes a 100 on their draft, it doesn't mean that they're going to make a 100 on the revision unless the essential edits have been made. Okay. Great job here. I can see exactly what you do, and it's going to be on every page. Good. And linked up. Good. I do love, okay, good. That's not an M dash. Good for you. Let's see. Make sure that these are a free Google Voice number, not your personal number. That you can decide to give them after you've made contact in a more public way. Okay. You might want to, I really would like to get into your work a little sooner, with maybe this here. This could be extended to where it's not 3 lines, just some way to get into your work, but it's laid out really well. You've got consistent spacing, and you've got your asset guides to explain what you're doing. So good job there. Okay. All right. Nice. All right. Good job here. Let's look at the mobile. Okay. In this situation, it's not actually pinned to the header. You don't want that overlapping. Okay. So the thing you can do is there's an orange button in your header. You can select that and you can freeze this and see if that helps. You can make sure that is part of this shape, and that will help. Or you'll have to put a shape behind this so it won't overlap text, all right? On your desktop, you did need to close a little bit of the spacing. You do need to link up. I recommend having a LinkedIn because then you can keep a record of your jobs. And if you are freelancing, that's really helpful. Okay. I would probably space these in a way where maybe put that underneath this, or because on your site you have the descriptions below. So just make sure that you've got some consistency there and consistent spacing when you get to your mobile. And that's really common. That's usually what happens with the mobile. All right. But otherwise, you've got a terrific start here, and not a lot of edits, but some important ones. All right. Edgar, love that you have your name up here and what you do. This is a strong logo. Make sure it's centered. And for this one, you need to have your footer. Okay, you need to have the year with your name. You need to delete this shopping cart. I believe that's what's back there. Yeah, just select it and delete it. Okay, probably want to either left align this, bring it up and make this, put it up here and make this a wider, or move this column over. It looks like it might not enlarge very much, so that's kind of an issue. Okay. All right, well, maybe you can get a larger image for yourself. Okay, and let's make sure that this is centered also. Close up this space, and you need your footer down there. Let's put your titles underneath. Okay, so we can bring this up a little bit. Something isn't centered. It's either this, projects, you can see the space here, or it's your videos. So make sure that those things are aligned, and put this down here and let us know what your role was. Okay, put the titles down there. You can bring that video up a little bit after that. Yeah. Okay, so if I click on these, they play. Okay. you know, you could put a dash and what you did, and then center that, like, you know, cinematographer, or, you know, just needs, maybe it doesn't, maybe it's self-explanatory in this case, but typically they want to know what your role is. It does give the impression that you've been videotaping all those. Okay. Let's use the font that you've got up here for your navigation down here, or that. Okay. This is just a narrow stroke that's really hard to read. See these narrow strokes? It makes it really hard. Not my favorite font, right? Okay. And that too could be a clearer font. This font would be better. And make sure that is a free Google Voice number. And you're going to have your footer down there. Okay, so some important things, but a couple of sweeping things, and then it'll be on its way. Let's look at your mobile. We're going to change that font, probably reduce the size just a little here. Okay. So it works here. Still a little fuzzy. For your mobile, you could probably make this centered a little bit. I'd probably take that period out and place these just not quite so far apart. And a header here that says about or bio. And you're going to rework those. Make sure that you extend the text box so that they're not stacked like that. And use, you know, this font for all your headings throughout your pages. All right. Great job. I'm looking forward to the revision on this one. Just two more we're going to look at. Jordan. Nice photo. It's hard to get a good image inside a circle, so good job there. I do want you to put your navigation in a header, okay, because it disappears on some of the other pages. And I like how bold this is, and it says what you do, but we need it in the header. Okay, so here we are. We don't have what you do up here. So I want to make sure that happens. Take out any placeholders. I've seen these many, many times. So that you definitely want to fix. And you can see here the problem. So we want to put it in put this up here. And you can go into the plus element in your Wix, and you can look at menus, and you can drag one over that's horizontal and not vertical, because you're having a lot of contrast issues too. This, not sure what this is exactly. I'm clicking on it, and you see we have that issue. We've got to be really careful, because you won't be able to put copyrighted work on your website. Okay, it's okay to put student work, but nothing that is copyright, like Hunger Game. Okay, so in this case, maybe you would have a downloadable document where you researched this, but yeah, visually we can't, because keep in mind you're competing with people who actually did this work. Okay, the artwork, that is. Make sure if you're going to have a cover image, make sure that it's not clipped. Okay, that means you'd have to take another image of it to upload it there. Let's take this out. It's not complete. and it's got some spelling errors, and this is template. So definitely take this out. It's a good thought because you can embed actually a working website, but do not use this as one of your assignments, okay? Because it's just not complete. And it's saying tacos, but images of cupcakes, so please take that out. Okay. And you want to use a free Google Voice. Let's see how we are with the mobile. Okay, and close a little bit of space if that's showing. Your name's going to be up here with what you do. That's going to come out. That's going to come out. And if this, you want to be really careful. Don't overuse chat because it will be noticeable. You just want to use it to help. This has got to come out. And yeah, one of the things you can do if you're looking at a communications manager, media inquiries, partnership proposals, then you're probably going to focus on proposals, right? That kind of thing. Media inquiries. You can use a mock. I'm not trying to have you do it this week or for this class, but you could use a mock up of a cell phone and maybe put your work inside that so it's contained. But if you're a communications manager, then you're going to be mindful of how much media examples you have. Okay, especially if they're incomplete or student work. So start focusing, look at other communications managers and see what they use on their websites, all right? All right. Justin, really like what you're doing, super clear. This link is broken, so when we go from the front page to it, it's not there. Either it does link, and you probably don't need this down here. And you do have your information, but double check, okay? You have a different vibe here. You've got a really clean business kind of layout, but your front page isn't like that at all. So if depending on where you got that image on the front, it probably needs to come out, okay? Definitely remove the underlining here because it will feel like a link, but they're not linked to anything, so be careful of that. And remove this. I like it, it's a great design, but it's not linked to anything. Yeah. Okay. But it's clear. Even better is having the same number of lines here as here. That means, let's see. Let's see what you have. You could, double up on some of these storytelling. You could make another, you could bring something over here and bring tools up and have skills and tools. But I mean, it's okay. It's just if you could reduce the lines here, that would be great, but not go too far out this way. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the mobile. Okay. Let's widen that text box so it's not wrapping like that. And this doesn't appear to be linked, so check that out. do add your skill up here. We need to see your social media. Okay, so little problem with the contact. It should be anchored here, or you can create a contact page and take it off of here. You just create a contact page in your pages and menu and go up to the top right there in that in list of pages and add a page and add a contact page. And then you would remove this strip because it's not linking currently. All right. But yeah, this background, I like this, but it's not playing when we link. Okay. All right. Great job, everybody. You do have, a little more time to make your corrections. You'll make your revision next week, right? But in the meantime, keep working, and you're headed in the right path. Some great stuff.